do you think that Walt Disney or Disney itself, yeah, Walt Disney was an occultist? And were these truly, truly, do you feel like that there was full clarity in making these stories and using occult themes? What do you think? Woman of skepticism. Did he just take these stories, or because I feel like so many people's lives have been shaped by Disney, and I'm like, this found a way to go beyond the Abrahamic religious theme. Like, we are dealing with magic here. I mean, I'm like, okay, I see the elements, I see the spirit, I see the sparks, I see the conjuring, I see the spell. Was Walt Disney truly a cultist? I have no doubts about it, without a doubt. Have you see the spell work? Because when Geppetto is creating Pinocchio, he's sitting in front and literally just speaking over his creation, like real spell work, just like I spoke over this baby right here. Um, I believe, yeah. I'm just like, wow, it's all here. It's all here. And even the use of the songs and the rhyming. I mean, this was spell work. That's why I was like, oh, they didn't put my favorite song in, because it talks about calling when you need it, right? And I think that's so important, because if you know that in this story that your conscious has been outsourced, but your conscious is always within you, um, this idea and this reminder, like, call out to yourself when you need that guide to know which way to go. I do it all the time. And it's so important. So anyway, the fun little fact was that one day, and if I told the story before, okay, well, you heard it again today. And if I haven't, well, today's your first day. But I feel like everyone's agreeing. Yes, we're not skeptical. Joanna says, Walt Disney wasn't worried about what people thought. Yes. And, Walt Disney had an affection for Sedona, which is actually one of my favorite places as well. I know there's other stories about him, but I can't get into that right now. Without a doubt, I've seen some good documentaries about Walt. Um, and yeah, everyone's like, I believe so. Yeah, I think it's there. It's something about those stories that they just go beyond the usual stuff and have real magic and wonder. I think it was interesting. We had well, it was cool. There was more diversity in the storyline. Like, they found a way to even get diversity in there. I love when they do that. I think that's beautiful. Um, that happened. It was really nice. But I was gonna say, so one day I was with a group of friends, and we had just met each other, and we're all sitting around, and like ice, and it was like an icebreaker question. If you could be any Disney character, who'd you be? And everyone, like, they chose a princess. I think I heard Mulan, I heard this or that. Everyone had like a particular princess depending on their vibes, and because we were all women, and I was like Jiminy Cricket. I was like searching through, like, who I was like, I was like Jiminy Cricket. And they just laughed. It was like a whole like laughing, why would you want to be Jiminy Cricket? But I was like, because he was a guide, he was helpful, he was there, he was supportive, he had a certain wisdom for Pinocchio to help him who needed help. And so that became my nickname. So for the rest of that time, my nickname was Cricket, and it's just not Jiminy, but Cricket. And it's just kind of a funny nickname. One of my favorite nicknames I've ever had that people call me by is Cricket, because of the story behind it. But it was nice to watch this movie and just kind of look at it from an adult's point of view, and the messages that are provided in all of this, but also the celebration of magic. I was so excited because I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just made a conjure doll, and Pinocchio is one too." And it's about so the story is really about alchemy, and then also I think the part that says manifestation. Geppetto created this, started the whole thing by creating and casting a spell. That is freaking dope. So, all right, you all. So, for context, was this before the days of Moana? Where we are? Yeah, this was before Moana. Hold on. So, yeah, and I wouldn't want to be Moana, even though Moana was dope. I want to be clear. Moana was dope, but I still wouldn't want to be Moana. The idea of being out there on the sea, that just doesn't turn me on. to be. I don't know what it is. Okay, let's be just I have motion sickness. Out there by yourself on the sea with like a weird chicken. Moana's cool, but no, I don't want to be Moana. I stand where I stand. I still stay there. Jiminy freaking Cricket. I mean, he went through a lot. Like I'm not. I mean, like when you look at the story, my God, this guy went through a lot. But he always was crisp and clean, and always seemed to come out of it. Like he kept on. Once he became anointed, if you will, and he was given this task, and he was committed to what he was doing. He was protected, and I think that's what maybe I like the whole concept of like this guy was committed. He understood his mission, he understood his assignment, and he did something really beautiful for this person, to figure out who they were, and he was clear in who he was. And he had already gone through his drama, he already gone through the rough times, and he was given this opportunity to do something wonderful for Pinocchio. And no matter what happened, he made it through. So then he had the umbrella. I'm just saying, just move me. So, okay, Larissa says Maleficent or Cruella for me. I've always loved the villains, but Jimmy was a dope character for sure. So while we're here, throw it out there, you guys. What Disney character would you be since we're doing it?